Hey guys, Barbara here. Today I'm going to be making cheesy hash browns like these. You're watching The Bear Pantry Show. So you guys know how I do it here, right? I always tell you the ingredients with the amounts because I don't want to send you to some other website to have to see that, okay? So let's run through the ingredients that we're gonna need. All right, guys, so very simple. You can do this for breakfast, for snack, for lunch, pick one. Take a look at what we're gonna need. I'm doing 3 medium-sized potatoes. I've already peeled and washed them. We're gonna do the green onions, some jalapeno, because when I tested the recipe, I did not like it with black pepper, so I'm gonna switch out for this flavorful pepper. Half a cup of grated extra sharp cheddar cheese. It's supposed to be half a cup of Parmesan. I'm gonna fill up the rest. I think somebody stole some of my Parmesan. 1 egg and a 1/3 cup of flour. Meanwhile, I'm gonna fill this up with some more Parmesan, but I'm just gonna go ahead and grate the potatoes. All right, guys, I remember why my thing was shortchanged. It's because I opened the little packets of Parmesan that you get at Costco when you buy the pizza, and I dumped it in there and I didn't have enough, so I had to go get my little canister here. So the potatoes are grated. You don't want to do this too early because see Jory, how it's starting to change color already? I told you already, potatoes change colors pretty quickly. People do this in a cheesecloth. I'm doing it in a strainer. And just want to strain out every ounce of the moisture that you can get from potato. I hope I didn't say coconut earlier because we were talking about grating coconut. So let me go ahead and get this squeezed out. I squeezed and look how much water I got out of that little bit of potatoes. So let me toss this because I need this bowl. All right, guys, so see, just toss that in there. Jory was remarking that this is a lot of work for this little dish. I'm going to do the green onions, dice them small. You don't have to have a whole lot, but I like the color in the thing. And I posted this on my Instagram when I tested it last week, by the way, guys. Some people thought it was cookies. Some people call these potato pancakes, but I call them cheesy hash brown because they don't seem like potato pancakes to me. This is going to be the kicker right here. So I diced that already. I did more than half the work for us already. All right, so just toss everything in. And these are going to be fried, all right? So I'm going to start my pot in a little bit. Just work it around. See, it's pretty already, right, with the green? And then the jalapenos, or the jalapenos, like my kids say, to play around. The queso. And if you don't like the sharp cheddar, do something else that's similar to the sharp cheddar. If you don't want Parmesan cheese, you could do Dutch cheese. You got it like that. You know what I mean? A 1/3 cup of all-purpose flour and 1 egg to help bind everything together. Let me whisk this. Dump that in there. You can do it with a spoon, you can do it with your hand. Just make sure your hands are clean. I'm gonna make these out like little patties. And we're gonna get 5 from this right here. So if you have a big family, you wanna do more. I absolutely hated grating the potatoes. So I don't know how often I would make this. So let me make these in a little patties. Can I flatten them? Okay. I opted out of putting salt in this because the last time I did it, I put a teaspoon of salt thinking that the potato was going to absorb all the salt, and it was a little bit too salty for me, so I was going to do half a teaspoon, but then I decided against it because both cheeses are loaded with salt. So we're going to see how this comes out. If it's a little bit fresh, I'll let you guys know so you could add your half a teaspoon of salt. Meanwhile, I've got some canola And I'm just gonna pour a little bit in. That's about a cup, I guess. Then I'm gonna heat my oil. And then we're gonna start frying. Remember what I taught you about putting them clockwise? So you can remember which ones went in first. Okay, ready? And they're not gonna fry for too long, okay? There goes the first one. It's not quite brown yet, so I'm not gonna mess with these others yet. I'd say a minute to a minute and a half on each side. Aren't these gorgeous? And you can eat these with a dip, like a sour cream ranch type dip, but Joshua's gonna eat them with eggs and stuff for breakfast. Remember, you're only gonna get 5 this size. So if you want more, you're gonna have to go ahead and double the recipe. I'm so glad I opted not to put that half a teaspoon of salt because the 2 cheeses combined made it salty enough for me. So I'm gonna ask you guys, go ahead and make it like this first. If it's not salty enough, just sprinkle some salt while it's still hot. And then in the future, you can go on ahead and add just a half a teaspoon of salt, okay? Because you don't want it to get too salty. I wanna thank you guys so much for watching the show, for liking, for sharing, for commenting, for visiting my website and picking up my books and even buying my books for your family members and so on. You guys are so kind and I really and truly appreciate it. Until I see you guys again, take care. Now let's see. What could we eat this with? Joshua's gonna do it with eggs. You could do it with pancake syrup. If you're weird like me, ketchup, any kind of ranch dip, sour cream dip. When you get one that's not hot, pinch off a piece. Looks good, right? It's like a fritter. Let's taste. I like the amount of saltiness from the cheese.